Hey guys, Robert Baton, Arro Fitness and Holistic Wellness at Arro Fitness. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and click like, subscribe. Today, I'm going to talk about flexibility in squatting. Alright, this is video 2 in my 3 video series of squatting, but I'm breaking this second video down into 2 videos. So 2A, 2B, okay, even though it's a 3-part series. Alright, today I'm going to break down the important flexibility areas which people have a problem with, which is the shoulders and the ankles when it comes to squatting. Now if you know me, you know I love squatting. Alright, I love it. It's one of my big 8. If you haven't seen the big 8, look for the link in the description below, like the video at the same time. Yeah, people don't realise how flexibility in the shoulders and the neck and the ankles can really affect their squat. And I'm going to break it down for you today, guys. So here we go. This is why your shoulders or your neck or your ankle flexibility is making your squat look awful. Let's talk about the ankles first, guys. Often people have pain in their ankles when they're squatting, and this pain can be felt all the way up the kinetic chain. It can be felt in the knees and the hips, and often hip pain can be because you've got poor mobility in your ankles. Also, what you often see as well with clients or people who are squatting is that when they squat down, the knees collapse in together. It's called valgus collapse, and that can be from ankle mobility as well. I mean, all these things are part and parcel of each other, and it's not always one is the only reason. It could be a few different issues, but let's test for ankle mobility issues first. Now normally when it comes to ankle mobility or flexibility, it's normally because people have got poor dorsiflexion. Okay, now what I mean by dorsiflexion is your toes coming towards your shins. That's dorsiflexion. The other way is plantar flexion. This is dorsiflexion, and the way we test for that is an ankle mobility test against the wall. So you get a wall like so, you're going to be 15 centimeters or 15 inches away from the wall. 15 centimeters or 5 inches, sorry, away from the wall. Okay, place the foot like this. Then we're going to be in a lunge position. All right, one knee, a half squat position, one knee on the floor, and then you're going to put your hands on your knee like so. Okay, now you're going to push this knee forward as far as you can and see if you can touch the wall. If you can touch the wall, okay, then it often points that you haven't got poor flexibility in the ankles. Now if you can't touch the wall, you're down back here, or when you're going forward you've got pain in the front of the ankle or in the back of the ankle up the calf, that points to tight ankles and you've got poor dorsiflexion. Another test you can do as well is to test the lateral glide of the ankle, okay, and this can be performed with someone helping you. And the way you do that is you lie on your back like so, and someone's going to take their hand over the top of your ankle like so, and they're going to push your knee out to the side, all right, and then you can test with any pain or any tightness in the ankle as well in that position there, okay. All right, so that's the 2 tests you can do, but the first one's foolproof. The first one, if you've got any pain going forward or you can't go forward, that means you've got tight ankles. So the first thing you can do to improve your ankle flexibility and mobility is eccentrically loading the muscles, which is the gastrocnemius and soleus, which are the muscles, big muscles in the calf. All right, so eccentrically loading means you're negatively loading. You're gonna put as much force as possible as you can through the lowering portion of the move. Now studies show that this changes the structure of the muscle, okay, so it's really gonna help your flexibility, and this is the way you do it. You can step on a platform, so the platform's high enough so that you can get a real deep stretch at the bottom and your heel's not going to touch the floor. What we're going to do, we're going to go up into a calf raise position, okay? And then from that position there, you're going to lower into control as low as you can, really stretching that calf out. And when you get to the bottom of the move, you're going to bend that knee slightly to really feeling that stress through the ankle and into the calf. And then foot down, back to the top position again. And repeat. Second thing we can do for ankle mobilisation is also the lateral glide test we just did. We can also then get someone, when we're doing the lateral glide test, we can get someone to push the knee in and outwards, okay? Just stretching that position there. So someone to hold your ankle just below the 2 bony bits on the side here, the medial and lateral malleosi. And what you do is get them to grip that and hold that nice and tight. And all we're going to do is out and in, okay? Right, really work on the flexibility in that region. Another thing you can do for ankle flexibility, increasing the ankle flexibility, is you can do some banded lean forwards on a platform, all right? And the way I do these is, I'll have a band around my ankle, and I'll show you the correct position in a minute, attached to something the same height as my ankle's gonna be. Then I'm gonna step forward onto my platform like so, half kneeling position, sort of like hip flexor stretch position. Now I want this band around the bony bits at the side of my ankles, all right? Now from this position here, hands on the knee, I'm gonna push forward as far as I can, and I'm really gonna push forward, trying to drive my heel bone into the step, into the platform, while I push forward at the same time. Hold that for 15-20 seconds, come back out, and repeat. The next issue that people normally have with flexibility-wise with doing the squat is shoulder flexibility. I mean, now why does shoulder flexibility play such a crucial role in your squat? Well, if you haven't got the shoulder flexibility you need, and you try to go down to your squat, okay, then what tends to happen is your lumbar, which is the lower bit here, or even your thoracic, mainly your lumbar, has to overcompensate, okay? So it's either gonna come underneath like this, okay, because your shoulders won't go back and you fall self position, or you're gonna overly arch your back. Now both, I don't need to tell you, are dangerous. When you overly arch your back, you can cause yourself lower back problems, compression issues in the bottom of the back. When you lean forward in this position as you're going down and arching your back over, obviously that's going to cause all kind of issues, could lead to a nasty injury, all right? So how do we test for shoulder flexibility? We do the against the wall test, okay? And the way we do this is, we have the feet 4 inches away from the wall, we have the butt and the upper back and the head against the wall, okay? And then we're going to put the hands out, arms out by our side, with the elbows at a 90-degree angle, okay? And we're going to get the back of the hands and the arms, the back of the arms and all the arms against the wall, all right? And from that position, we're going to lower the arms under control, to keep it against the wall the whole time, looking forward. We're going to lower the arms till the hands are in line with the ears. Then we're going to go all the way up into the air. Then we're going to come back down again, okay? Now, what we see here is, if the hands or the arms come away from the wall at all, that means you've got poor flexibility in the shoulders, is a good indication. I mean, many muscles can be to blame for poor shoulder mobility. And here's some of the ways we can combat this. Start with myofascial release for the usual suspects. Or you get a specific trigger point ball, and you can see me here doing my pec minor, really rubbing around into the area, okay? Trying to release any trigger points in there, trying to release any tightness. I'll flip over here, you can see me doing levator scap, trigger points around here, working into that. Then the long head of the triceps. And then see me working infraspinatus. And then into the lats as well. Then after doing the myofascial release, I'd stretch these areas. So this is my favourite lat stretch. As you can see, I'm gripping above shoulder height. I'm putting the opposite hand on my rib cage, leaning forward, sticking the bum out, stretching that lat. Okay, you should feel that in the lat and not in the shoulders. This is my favourite rotator cuff stretch, or at least posterior rotator cuff stretch. So I put my arm across my body. I want my shoulder blade pinned against something. I'm going to pull it across. I should feel the stretch in the back of my shoulder. How can we test shoulder external rotation? Okay, and you can have your arms out to the side, elbows 90 degrees, all right? And what we're going to try and do is, with the elbows on the floor, from this position here, is we're going to externally rotate the arms, well, the lower arms, and we're going to try and get the back of our hands and our arms on the floor. If we can't, we know we've got an issue with our shoulder external rotation. So for general shoulder and neck mobility, we can do wall angels. So for wall angels, you're going to be 4 inches from the wall. You're going to have your bum, your upper back and your head against the wall, and you're going to get these arms and these back of the hands against the wall as best you can, all right? And then moving the hands down to in line with the ears. You're going to keep everything against the wall. You're going to push all the way up as high as you can, and then come back down to that position. You know, set of 10 would be great. Another stretch I like to employ is a sleeper stretch. Okay, and this stretch is basically the rotator cuffs. And what you're going to do is, you're going to lie on your side, then you're going to roll back until your edge of your shoulder blade is just on the floor. So sort of like a 45-degree angle, not completely on your side. And what you're gonna do is, you're gonna have this shoulder flexed, your hand in the air, all right? And with the opposite hand, you're gonna push down, nice and gently, okay? Just so you feel a stretch there. Now don't push it too hard. It's just gentle pressure we want to apply because we don't want to injure ourselves. The final stretch I will do is the chest stretch. Now the way I do this is, I'd have my elbow lower than my chest. I'm gonna have my hips parallel with whatever I'm pushing against. Now I'm using the frame here of a maxi rack, but you can use a doorway, you can use a pillar, you can use anything really, a pole, anything like that at all. And what I do is I have my elbow lower than my chest. And what I'm going to do is keep my body upright. I'm going to take a small step forward without moving my upper body. And then from that position, I'm going to bend my knee ever so slightly whilst leaning forward and pulling my chest away from my arm. So it looks like this. Just feel the stretch across this part of the body. There you have it, guys. That's the reason that your ankle mobility and your shoulder mobility is making your squat look terrible. Okay, now this is video 2A, video 2B. Next week is going to be talking about other areas of flexibility. Look for that. If you don't know how to squat, watch video 1, link in description, squat basics. I'm Robert Baton, arrowwellness.com, Arrow Fitness and Holistic Wellness. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @Arrow Fitness, and look out this summer for the complete Arrow health system coming to you. And if you want any personal advice and nutrition help, you can contact me through this page, or you can contact me at arrowwellness.com. There we have it, guys. Get squatting, because I know you want to look like a squat king.